If you ever feel like you have too much going on in your life, just know there's probably someone out there who has it worse. My name is Sean, I'm 21 years old. I train almost every day. I'm in my final year of my law degree, and I also run a YouTube channel where I help skinny guys build muscle and improve their physiques. In this video, I'm basically going to show you guys how I balance all three without actually crashing out. This isn't a day in the life type of video, it's more of an insight into my system, mindset, and the discipline that's allowed me to juggle fitness, YouTube, and law school without completely burning out. So let's start off with fitness, because as you can probably tell, this is mainly a fitness channel. If you're new here, I started this channel last year, making content aimed at helping skinny guys build muscle based off my own experience, going from a very skinny kid back in the past to where I am now. Out of the three, fitness is by far the easiest for me to manage because I've been lifting for over 4 years. Training has become completely non-negotiable for me. That said, starting college definitely made staying in shape more challenging. I went from lifting almost every single day to having to sacrifice some sessions, in order to get in schoolwork, to socialize, to enjoy life a bit, party, all these things I had to so I was not able to train as often as I used to. Definitely my first year of university was very difficult. I found it hard to balance fitness with my social life, but then I had to stop relying on motivation and start relying on discipline. That's a word you're going to hear me use a lot in this video because it's very, very important. I built a clear fitness game plan, a training split that focuses on 4 main training sessions per week, prioritizing intensity over volume. This has helped me build a lot more muscle, keeping me progressing while I handle everything else going on. This also means I'm getting more done in under 2 hours per session, which frees up time for me to study and edit videos. I'm not spending 5 hours in the gym and then coming back tired. I'm just getting it done within 2 hours, get out the gym, start doing the other things I have to do. Also, prepping my meals ahead of time is also a lifesaver because it allows me to hit my calorie intake goals while still being able to have time to train. I'm not spending long hours in the kitchen. This allows me to have more time to train, edit, and study because I'm not cooking every single day as well. So fitness has definitely not taken a back seat. I've just had to get smarter and more disciplined with the way I manage my training, the way I manage my nutrition, and my recovery as well. Now, in terms of my law degree and my college life, as I said, I'm currently in my 3rd and final year of my law degree. And if anyone watching this is studying law or plans to study law, you already know what it comes with, There's long mornings, late nights, an insane amount of content you have to study, and doing all this while also trying to create and edit content and also be in the gym is very far from easy. And definitely in the beginning it was very tough, balancing law school with fitness and YouTube was not easy. There have been periods where I genuinely felt like it was impossible to fit all three into a single day. Sometimes it is actually, being able to go to the gym, edit content, study in a day. You can do that for 3 days, but it takes a very disciplined person to do that for months and months. And I did that for a year, but I did fail at certain points, So again, I had to get smarter with it. I've had to sacrifice my sleep, getting up earlier in the day to study before I start my day. This has allowed me to catch up with all the school stuff I have to do. As I said, with law, there's a lot of content. It's very easy to get left behind even after a day. So in case I won't have time during the day to study, or I don't have class during the day, it allows me to dedicate the rest of my day to, focusing on the gym, my fitness, a lot more time to edit content and do other things I have going on. Even on busy days, I make sure I dedicate at least 30 minutes to studying. I go to the school library, I'll read for 30 minutes. That 30 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but over time, that daily consistency, it massively reduces the workload over time and helps me to stay on top of everything, which also allows me to have less workload when exam season starts. A lot of people push off the reading to the last part of the semester where they have to, do exams, but I make sure I read at least every single day. So when exam season comes rolling in, I'm not panicking with a heavy workload, allowing me to still go to the gym, allowing me to still edit content as well. So for sure, it's a lot to handle, but over time, it gets to be part of your routine and you eventually get used to it. Now, in terms of my YouTube channel, this is probably the hardest one to manage out of all the three. And this is because it's something that I personally chose to do, I'm not accountable or answerable to anyone. I hold my own self accountable. And the fact is that whether I decide to dedicate time to edit and post videos, it's completely up to me. Nobody is telling me, yo, you have to update, you have to do this, you have to post a video. Nobody cares, I've had to discipline myself into making and taking this stuff seriously, I started this channel in early 2025 with the goal of helping skinny guys and beginners build muscle. It's been a year now, you know, I have a couple hundred subscribers, you know, some good views. I've managed to like set the groundwork for my channel, you know. Unlike with the gym or my degree, you know, YouTube is different. You know, no one holds me accountable. As I said, there have been times where I've been consistent for months and then slowed down completely because, you know, I have so much going on. Either I'm working or you know, the schoolwork is too much. You know, I've had moments where I've even thought about quitting, you know, because with this YouTube thing, it pays off if you're consistent over a long period of time. You know, you might post videos every single week and not get the results that you want. So having to battle that, you know, mentally as well as managing everything else, you know. But just like anything worthwhile in life, you know, it requires sacrificing my time. I've had to party less, you know, I've had to spend less time with my friends, you know, spending late nights scripting, editing videos, having to cancel plans because I have to get a video out in time. All that stuff takes discipline, you know, especially when it's just you versus you. No one's telling you to do it. No one cares whether you do it or not. You're not gonna lose anything if you don't do it. I started setting realistic goals, especially this year 2026. I set realistic goals for myself that are manageable, that are not gonna make me crash out, you know. Posting at least 2 videos a week. I try to post at least some form of short form content every single day, you know, scheduling like uploads for when I have no time to edit, which is quite stressful, but I do enjoy creating content and that keeps me going. You know, I feel like with this whole content creation stuff, you actually have to like it. You actually have to be, you know, to dedicate time out of your day to do this stuff. You actually have to be enjoying it because the returns are not gonna come as quick as you want. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's allowed me to juggle all 3 things is discipline. You know, you can't be consistent without discipline. You know, I'm not perfect. Some days the gym wins, some days studying wins, some days YouTube wins, you know, but consistency over a long period of time will always beat small hiccups along the way. I'm giving you guys my routine of how I balance all these 3 things, but it doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that I don't mess up as well. So my goal this year is to go harder than last year, you know, with the YouTube, with the gym, with, you know, finishing my degree. I'm in my last year, so this is the first video of the year. So if you're new here, make sure you consider subscribing. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.